we're starting in Kansas City. Trent McDuffie traded to the Rams. Kansas City receiving pick number 29 in the first round, as well as a 5th, 6th in 2027. Third, Danny, you had some time to react to this, as did Patrick Mahomes, who tweeted, "Darn, but it was damn." Your reaction to this news, Danny?
Well, it's very on brand for both teams, which is why, I did this when you guys were out. I talked about this as a trade that was going to happen back in a couple weeks ago, and Bill Barnwell put it was a pretty easy one to piece together because the Rams had such big problems in the secondary. Right. And the Chiefs don't pay corners, and Les Snead says F them picks, and the Chiefs kind of say F them corners. It was a pretty easy dot to connect. And I love it for the Rams, and I don't know how long you can keep getting away with it if you're the Chiefs. I know why they deserve the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think all of the corners that they've let go are created equal in terms of their age, their injury history, when they were going to pay them, how much they were going to get paid. And McDuffie's really good. He is a really good, versatile, young, you drafted him, you developed him corner. Those are the types of players that, at a premium position, those are the types of players that, generally speaking, your organization wants to reward and keep. And so I wouldn't be celebrating it. I understand it because of the haul that they got, but it's very likely that whoever you take at 29 is either going to be a corner to replace McDuffie, right, or a player who will just be worse than McDuffie.
Yeah, well, so it's that. It's also the $30 million of cap space that it would have taken to keep him. And
which you can move around,
but so you can't move it around infinitely.
Yeah.
And in perpetuity. And if the hope is to contend basically every year of the next decade of Mahomes' 30s, or at least, the next 7 years, that bill comes due unless you do things like this. I love Trent McDuffie. I think he's the best slot corner in the league. Versatile is not necessarily the word I would use because I don't think he's a great outside corner, but I think he's the best slot corner in football, and that's super valuable, and he's a very good blitzer as well. Mm-hmm. But here's where I will defend the process. Forget the fact that when Bill Barnwell suggested it, he thought the trade would be McDuffie and a 5th from Kansas City for just the 29th pick. Instead, it was McDuffie with nothing else attached to him for the 29th, a 5th, a 6th, and a 3rd in next year's draft. But the Chiefs are trying to do something only one other team in NFL history successfully did, which is essentially contend year in, year out with a blip here or there for more than a decade consecutively. And the team that did that did moves like this all the time. What are the huge contracts the Patriots gave out to guys not named Tom Brady or Rob Gronkowski? There aren't many. No, a few offensive linemen, which the Chiefs have done. Sure. Yeah, they went out and signed an excellent corner. In a free agency, they went out and signed, I forget who it was, but it was a big-name corner late in Brady's.
Was it Gilmore?
Gilmore as well, but it doesn't matter. It's not that they never spent money.
Revis?
I don't remember, but maybe it was Revis. But it's not that they don't spend money, but they are very judicious with it, and they are not afraid to sell high on a player, to let a player walk because they think it's too much money, or to trade Richard Seymour away in the middle of his prime because the return is too great to turn down. And the fact that they were able to get 85-90% of what they got for Tyreek Hill, and the Tyreek Hill trade netted them the defensive pieces that led to 3 consecutive trips to the Super Bowl, to me says the process is sound. You have to nail the picks. Obviously, you have to nail the picks. Right. They nailed them in the 22 draft. They didn't in the 23 draft. We'll see what they do in the 26 draft.
Well, look, I love it for the Rams. I think also with that pass rush, McDuffie could even be better.
Agreed.
For the Rams, right? So I think it's great for – and I'm tempted to I feel like they might be the best team in the NFC.
Whoa.
There's something in me
Relax.
against going with the Rams, maybe because of these little skits or whatever.
Yeah.
But this
Make a move on
is
your team.
big for the Rams.
They got better.
I just don't feel like picking the Rams in the NFC, but I think that they got better, and I think they look great right now. For the Chiefs, I'm kind of with Danny in that. I said this earlier. They don't feel elite to me right now, and I agree. If they nail, and Veach has been good, if they nail these picks, then yeah, because they did get more than I would think they would have gotten. All right, so if they nail the picks, it could be good. It could work out. Mm-hmm. But right now, they got to do that. And I don't know if it's just Mahomes' injury, but I don't feel like they're definitely going to be right back there in the hunt. I like Denver and the Chargers right now better than them in their division. So I think I would not be surprised at all if this is just kind of let's just rebuild it. It might be a tough year. Maybe we win 9 games but don't make the playoffs. And then a year from now or 2 seasons from now, they're back in the hunt.
The only thing I'll quibble with you, Nick, is I think it's more like 70% of the value of the Tyreek Hill trade than 85%. I just think things have changed. I don't think the late round picks are as valuable now because more guys are going back to college because of NIL, and it's a future third round pick as opposed to the Tyreek Hill draft. It was in that draft that they had, so there was pick certainty. Like you knew when it was coming, and it was a second instead of a third. So it's a little bit more than I would have thought for McDuffie, but I don't think it is some sort of like overwhelming draft haul.
It's almost what the Jets got for Quinnen Williams. I think it is.
It's a good return.
I also anticipated that this trade could happen. And I think Wilds is with me because I was in your office when we heard the terms of it. Mm-hmm. I was surprised that they got quite as much as they did. Now, again, you have to hit on the picks, but the other piece of it is, and this is the point that I would make, then we can leave it. If they didn't do this, they had 2 other options. One is play out your 5th-year option and then walk for nothing, or franchise tag him and then walk for nothing. That, to me, is disastrous team management. It's the cheapest way, and for next year, for this coming year, it's probably he's going to be better than the 29th pick and the 5th rounder, next year. The other option is pay him. Have the single, and now go into next season with the highest paid D tackle, the highest paid center, the second highest paid guard, the highest paid quarterback, and the highest paid corner, who, by the way, doesn't play outside corner. That, to me, is bad process and not sustainable. So the number one goal, yes, is to draft good players and keep them forever. The number 2 is draft good players, have them play for you when they're basically free, and then turn them into more free players.
That totally makes sense.
And so, but
I think I totally buy that if you were Brett Veach and if I was Brett Veach and you were Clark Hunt, I'm like, good news, we're the new Patriots. We are not going to have a little dynasty. We are going to be the dominant team for a decade plus. And if I was Clark Hunt, I'd also be like, we're also a 6-win team.
Patriots didn't have a losing season.
Yeah. We're also a 6-win team with an injured quarterback who just traded away our best defensive player or second best defensive player. Like, oh, well, through that lens, I'm a little more shocking. I like the Patriots stuff a little bit more. But
makes the draft fascinating.
Well, yeah.
A team in Mahomes in his prime with 2 first-round picks.
3 picks in the top 40.
Yeah.
And so they can move around. The extra third could be used to move around. Like I
think you like picking back too. 29. It's like where you're comfortable.
No, well, that's the thing is I think I could see that. I don't think they're going to trade back from 9, but I would be surprised if they make the picks at 29 and at 40. Now, I don't know if that means they moved up or they moved back. Up. But, I mean, that's how they got Trent McDuffie. They had the 29th pick from Miami. They traded that to New England, I think, to move up to get McDuffie.
Do you want them to try to move up to assure that they get love?
If they move up in the top 9, it has to be because for a pass rusher, not to move up for Love. I mean, and I like Love a lot, but I think pass rusher is a bigger
draft talk. Oh, yeah. I don't like it.
I like it.
All right, some sad news coming out of New England. The Patriots are releasing 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who triumphantly came back from ACL injury and played great. 85 receptions, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, and also went to the Super Bowl. thank you for a heck of a year. We're family forever, and a nice heart. Not even the heart with like the little bandages around it. Just the raw heart.
But
I had
then
no
he
bandages.
unfollowed him.
That's
So
just
are we
might be
really
a pain
family
thing. Well,
forever?
yeah, if you have the heart with the bandages, it means one thing. The raw red Valentine's Day heart means another.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Danny, what's the question here?
What does this mean for the
Patriots? It's not great.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised by it. I know there were articles talking about how he could be a cap casualty, but maybe they could have restructured the deal. It seemed like such a good fit, and he seemed to like it so much and was so productive, and they won, and he was touted as a leader, that I got to be honest, I didn't see this one coming. And you've got a lot of cap space, so maybe you guys become the Alec Pierce destination, and then you just like pay at the top of the market for him. But I also think you guys are going to be the team most linked to A.J. Brown. Like I think that just
Sure.
Now, my gut tells me A.J. Brown stays in Philly. You and I disagree on that. But if he gets moved, I would bet strongly that it's New England. That they would just trust that Vrabel's culture would be and his relationship and May's arm would make A.J. Brown be on his best behavior, and you would then be upgrading from Diggs to A.J. Brown. But I feel like this makes it's priority 1, 2, and 3 almost for the Patriots. Like they need to fix and fill this production. I'm very surprised by it.
Yeah, that's what it means to me. Go get A.J. Brown. That's what, because I don't need A.J. and Stephon Diggs. And I get Diggs was a great soldier this year. But 2 guys with diva tendencies, I don't need. A.J. is better, obviously, than Stephon Diggs right now. And he would be, and like Danny said, he's got a quarterback that's going to be throwing him the rock all season long. It's not going to be anything like Philly, where they're throwing it 25 times a game. And so he's going to love it. And they're a good team. He's got the relationship with Vrabel. Go get A.J. Brown.
Would you give up pick 31?
For A.J. Brown? Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if A.J. Brown was all of a sudden at the combine, here's A.J. Brown.
But yeah, I mean,
that guy looks great.
Yeah, he's more expensive, older than the guys at the combine. But yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown would get 150 targets on the Patriots next year.
Yeah,
so
he would be great.
So this is why, even though I don't think it's a stunning move, Danny's point about you guys aren't, some teams cut productive players for cap reasons because they have to get cap compliant. It's like that was the Chiefs with Jawan Taylor. And again, he wasn't as productive as Stephon Diggs, so maybe it's not a perfect example. But it seems like, no, this is a good player who, all things being equal, would like to keep on the roster, but we're literally going to be against NFL rules if we're not under the Patriots already had cap space. So freeing up $20 more million was not a necessity. But it did create a necessity on the roster.
Correct.
I thought they potentially needed another wide receiver even with Diggs. Now, to your point, they definitely do. I think they definitively need another pass rusher, and I think they need offensive line help. And now this priority jumps up. I personally would say to you, if you guys are going to trade for a receiver, the Vrabel relationship notwithstanding, I would trade for Brian Thomas Jr. before I try to trade for Brian Thomas Jr. before I try to trade for A.J. Brown. He's younger.
He's amazing.
It's he seems to have fallen a bit out of favor in Jacksonville. They have Travis Hunter coming back. And he can kind of grow a same timeline as Drake May. Not that A.J. Brown's anywhere close to over the hill, but for a receiver, he probably has 2 prime years left, and so that's a different spot.
The reason why it was surprising to me, when he signed this deal, I think there was a lot of question marks. Are you going to be a problem in the locker room? No. Are you going to look like yourself coming off of an ACL? Yes. Can we win games with you? We went to the Super Bowl. You had 1,000 yards. So it felt like.
So do you think it's just the off the field?
I don't. I haven't been following the legal in and outs of that. With a fine-tooth comb, I guess, but it's not nothing certainly.
But they can upgrade too. A.J. Brown is a big upgrade over Stephon Diggs.
Look, A.J. Brown is great. I just think Stephon Diggs on the field kept his end of the bargain.
So you're blindsided by this too?
Not blindsided because there started to be sort of tremors that it was going to happen.
He's not blindsided. He's crestfallen.
I am crestfallen.
That might be worse. That might be worse.
Got to the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right, good news. I know you think stats are just for policy wonks. You know what I mean? If you're in the auditing office. It's not true, okay?
No.
They're actually pretty cool. Here to prove it to you is Danny Parkins with the with a segment called Pack Stats. And again,
We're ready, Kate.
I'm ready to go, man.
Let's
Just
hear
because
it.
I'm putting on my gloves while you throw it to me is fine. That doesn't take away from the coolness of the stats.
Get that one on.
Dude, it's
here we
really
go. See, now
small.
we gotta think
It's
about it.
very small.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But I was just curious if you guys wanted to know what else is
yeah,
cool.
we want. Yeah, not what else is gonna just start.
Size not mattering. Oh, can I open this up?
Size not mattering.
That's right. Big things in small packages. Get it?
Swing and a miss there.
We took a poll. Would KW like that one? Everyone
No.
said no. I did it anyway. Kyler Murray. Better than he's given credit for.
Oh, come
wow.
on.
Thank you.
Total
Thank
yards
you.
per game, quarterback since
as good as Lamar.
2019. He's not as good as Lamar.
Wow, 1 yard short. Not even a yard.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying
One
he
step.
is as
14
good.
inches short of being as good as Lamar.
Love
Okay,
it.
but like in terms of, yes, I understand commitment issues. I obviously know how tall he is. But are you really saying that if with the best coaching that he's ever
Thank
had,
you.
with the best receiving that he's ever had, with the, as you put it yesterday, the realization of, oh man, I got to be a pro right now. I just got fired. I've failed for the first time in my life. That if he goes to a better situation than he was in, that the best football could not possibly
People
be in
thought
front
he
of
was
him.
in a great. This is what I don't like.
Great call.
When he was young.
People thought he was in a great situation with Cliff Kingsbury. People loved Kingsbury. Everybody
want
but
a bunch
me.
of- is that-
And his
they want
glass house and his feet up on the
I
thing.
forgot about the glass house. That was cool.
That glass house is cool.
And he is, Danny, you do not believe he's one of the 20 best quarterbacks in football. So why is he going to excel?
Just stats, man. Stats are cool.
The total yard, that stat right there made me question total yardage. If he's the 6th most productive. And again, I'm very curious, the qualifiers put on at minimum 80 starts, how many guys are not eligible because of the number of starts, I don't know. But
I mean, playing matters.
I agree.
Playing
But
games
He
matters.
doesn't play as much.
But I also I think the fact that he is 87 starts into his career and the same age as Sam Darnold is right now, not Darnold when he left the Jets, Darnold right now,
But do you
makes me
not-
think he is who he is.
Do you not, if we would have taken, like, remove this year of the team success of Sam Darnold, so just like go back in your mind 12 months, who is the better player, Sam Darnold or Kyler Murray?
After Darnold's Vikings year, I would have said Darnold.
Pre-Vikings, right?
No, he's saying pre.
I would have given you the Vikings year, but sure, go there. Like,
It would have been arguable after just the one Vikings year,
Absolutely
particularly
it
with
would
the
have been.
meltdown at the end of the season and in the
But
playoffs.
that's okay. I mean,
like some people would have said.
I wouldn't have gone that far, but pre-Vikings, I would definitely say
Definitely.
Kyler. And when you get to the time for cool stats. Sorry, guys.
so since I know what is cool, I also know what isn't cool. You know
Yeah.
what isn't cool?
what?
Getting hit.
What's not cool?
It's not cool. The stat is cool, but it's not cool to get hit. So I'm going to tell you a stat about that, Wilds.
Yeah.
You didn't like that one either.
I
Everyone's
liked it.
talking.
Who
Thank you,
cares
Nick.
about Wilds?
Everyone's talking about Tyler Linderbaum leaving. Who's going to sign him? What about the impact on Lamar Jackson?
Not good.
He just had the highest sack percentage year of his career, and he's losing his best offensive lineman and the captain of his offensive line. And if we talk about Lamar and injuries, Lamar and this new contract and him entering, while still a great athlete, obviously, and still a first ballot Hall of Famer and an MVP candidate, but he is going to need to operate more from the pocket, and he just had his most sacked year. Instead of talking about the addition of Linderbaum from another team, should we be talking about it more through the prism of your guy, Lamar? Britt?
Well, so much so that I'm hoping Linderbaum isn't necessarily gone. Like, he wants a ton of money. There's reports he wants $25 million. Creed Humphrey right now is getting, what, 18?
He's the highest
highest
paid
paid center. So maybe if, and again, reports are that the Ravens are willing to make him the highest paid center. So maybe they're like, look, see what's out there, and they may match something, if a team goes above and beyond. But we'll see. But I love the guy, and I think they need him. And I would imagine Lamar is saying the same thing to them. We got to keep Linderbaum.
I think that they want him, but they let him hit free agency.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know. You know what else is cool?
What?
The Bears having a center.
Listen, I would love it if Linderbaum was the center of the Bears, but I don't think that's going to happen.
You need a center, though.
Because Bears center just retired.
Bears center just retired. Yeah. Stay tuned for First Things Last at the end of the show. You guys got time for one more?
There's also Billy and Deanna's segment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Our kids did a show called First Things Last before. Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Really?
They sat out here. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, my monologue segment's First Things Last. Have you seen the segment?
Yeah,
I did. I didn't know it was called.
Do you watch the show?
Yeah.
All right, guys. You know what else is cool?
Wait.
Versatility.
Oh, that is true.
As in, we can do hoop stats too.
Oh, wow.
Do we really know the new Lakers? Did you know that LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves have almost played as many minutes together in the 7 games since the All-Star break as they played in the 54 games before the All-Star break? Kind of shocked me because of LeBron's injury, obviously, AR's injury as well. So they've 7 games since the break. They've started all 7 games. They've played together, and they're playing pretty well. Beating up on some tomato cans.
It also speaks to that, really awful early season, that plus minus with the 3 of them on the court.
Yeah.
Was a tiny sample.
Really small
was
sample.
a tiny minutes-wise sample. Right. And I do think you are seeing more signs of continuity offensively when the 3 of them are out there. Now, maybe it's competition-based. I don't know. But to your point, I think they play the Nuggets? Well, the Nuggets defense stinks too. They're going to have to outscore them, though. Figure out more on that tomorrow.
You got 3 20-plus points, 130 and 2 other in the 20s, so you should be able to put the ball in the hoop.
Well, that wraps it up. Another edition of Cool Stats.
Welcome back to First Things First. Willie Colon hanging out now. Where is Maxx Crosby going? It's going to be one of the biggest topics of conversation until a decision is final. The reports are he doesn't really want to be in Vegas, but he's not demanding a trade yet. Diana Rossini, friend of the show, coming out and reporting. So where do things stand right now? Based on several conversations with league sources, the Raiders have not moved off from their asking price of 2 first-round picks and a player. Several teams are interested, but decision makers are getting mixed signals from the Raiders in regards to their genuine interest in dealing their star, which makes sense because that is an absolute king's ransom. So, Willie, the question is, who should go all in for Maxx Crosby?
Okay.
But before we get into the specifics of the teams, I love Diana Rossini. I respect Jay Glazer. All of these NFL reporters, they have way more sources around the league than I do.
I feel like you're about to say something.
I'm about to say something. It would be breaking with league precedent for a player like Maxx Crosby to get a Micah Parsons-like package, a Khalil Mack-like package. It just simply because of age. Like so,
Age and injury.
Age and now the injury.
Well, Micah didn't get his injury till he landed with
till
the
he'd been traded, right? But so this is just what I put together. Non-quarterbacks in the last 10 years who have been traded for multiple first-round picks. So not even including and the player.
Okay.
Look at their ages. They're all 25, 26. The oldest is 27, and Khalil Mack at that time hadn't been paid yet, was only 4 years into the league, and was considered basically like the best defensive player in football. Crosby is coming off the meniscus cleanup and will be turning 29 before the season. So he is a great player. And I will talk about how I want him as a Bear soon and that I think he makes a lot of teams better and makes sense for a lot of teams. But I will be floored if all in ends up being defined as 2 firsts and a player, like what Micah Parsons was just traded for. I don't think it's going to cost that much.
Well, I respect the King's ransom because if you want to debate, you know how negotiations work, right? Like you start high, hopefully you land in the middle. So I understand the Raiders.
Oh, I'm sure the Raiders want that.
Right.
I just don't believe that a team is going to do that for a 29-year-old pass rusher coming off knee surgery. I don't believe it.
Well, see, I think differently because I think if you're a team right now who feels like you're in win now mode, and for me, there's a couple teams.
Let's hear them.
Buffalo Bills. All right, you need a closer. You haven't had an edge presence since Greg Rousseau, Leonard Floyd. AJ Epineza is going to be a free agent. You're going to lose him. You know you went into this division game against the Broncos not having a presence on the edge that can close and get home to the quarterback. Maxx Crosby can do that. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you're going to lose Kyle Van Noy to free agency. You know Maxx Crosby can elevate your defense, right? You know the type of culture he brings into the building. You know his makeup. You know what he can do. I love him on the Ravens. I'm not really, but I get it. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Steelers issue.
Right.
Yeah.
And also the Cowboys. Because if you're Jerry Jones right now, it's time to put up and really say, you know what, I've been talking a lot of smoke. I've talked about what I'm willing to do. Getting him proves it. So, and you have a young DC and Christian Parker who's new to the job, new to the building, and you're going to give him a weapon that can really bolster that defense. So for me, those are the three teams that I feel like can make hay.
I will be floored if it's Dallas simply because they traded Micah away for multiple picks and a player. To then turn around and trade multiple picks and a player for Maxx Crosby would surprise me. I love the Buffalo idea. I think that one's perfect. Bill Barnwell, when he did his offseason projections of trades, and he nailed the McDuffie Chiefs trade from earlier, as did I. He said it first, though. I'll give him credit.
Flex.
Yeah, subtle. Nothing humble about this brag. No, but he said DJ Moore in a first for Maxx Crosby.
Okay.
So I would do that in a heartbeat as a Bear
Well,
fan.
the Bears are the cleanest fit. I give you that.
And he seems to want it. Like him and Caleb, some things he said on social media, things he said during the season. It's a huge need. The only thing that now gives me pause is, and I'll talk about Drew Dahlman's retirement a little bit later in the show, but Drew Dahlman retiring, the center for the Bears, it just creates another, like, they've got a left tackle question mark, they've got a pass rush question mark, and now they have a center question mark. Before, when they didn't have a center question mark, I was like, oh, trade your first and DJ Moore, fix your edge rush problem, and then you just have your left tackle thing to figure out. Now, with the extra question mark, I'm not sure that the Bears are in a position to trade a first-round pick anymore.
Yeah, that's fair, but I also don't fall, like, I'm not willing to bite the apple in reference to his relationship with Caleb, because I'm pretty sure Max would love to play with a Josh Allen who's in his prime.
I'm sure.
Who would love to play with a Lamar Jackson who's in his prime, a Dak Prescott, right? Like, the problem with Maxx Crosby, he's never had a quarterback that he could depend on, right? Because when the defense gets off the field after handing the offense the ball, he wants to hand the ball to a quarterback that can deliver. He hasn't had that.
He said five different head coaches.
Right, so any of those quarterbacks he would fall in love with. That's why I'm not, all right, he loves Caleb. He would love Josh Allen too.
Yeah, but he really loves Caleb.
Okay.
To Philadelphia, so come on, we're talking trades, we're talking A.J. Brown, because Philly is asking for a high price for their wide receiver, and reports from The Athletic's James Palmer on his Scoop City podcast, he says, so a head coach heard what the Eagles were asking and, quote, laughed hard. So obviously the Eagles' asking price for A.J. Brown is high. This is a fun one because, like Maxx Crosby, an undeniably great player, though a little bit more baggage with A.J. Brown. Willie, where's the best fit for A.J. Brown?
Well, let me say this. If you let A.J. Brown go, whatever that looks like, the Eagles aren't making the playoffs next year.
Wow.
I'm going to jump out there and say that. Like, this receiver room is built around A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. If you let him go, all eyes are on Devontae Smith, and the reason why Devontae Smith was been able to eat because he had A.J. Brown on the other side.
So you don't think Devontae is a true number one?
We haven't seen it, right?
No, definitely not.
And I think the reason why—
I think he's very good, though.
I think he's damn good, but this is what you have to understand with the Eagles' offense right now. They're going to lose potentially both tight ends are free agents. Dallas Goedert is going to be a free agent, and they have, I think the kid's name right now is Grant Calcaterra, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm chopping his name up, so I apologize. They could potentially lose that, right? On top of that, you need offensive line help. Bad. The Eagles would take a big dead cap hit if they let A.J. Brown go. I think it was like $23 million. You can reserve that money and get you an offensive line, some pieces on the offensive line that can revamp this run game and get Saquon Barkley, back on par. I think this is all smoke. I don't think A.J. Brown's going anywhere. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. And I'm going to tell you the grand poobah of it all. If A.J. Brown walks away, let's just say he goes, plays for the Patriots, that's just hypothetically, there's a chance the Eagles may realize that Jalen Hurts is the problem after all.
Oh, yeah, listen,
like,
I mean, I've
been
been saying that for years, buddy.
But trust me, I've been next to you.
Yeah.
But there may be an issue where that Jalen Hurts may have hit his ceiling. And that's a bigger crisis that I think the Eagles are willing to deal with right now.
Okay, so we're actually pretty aligned here because A.J. Brown would have a better fit with a better quarterback, right? Like
That's fair.
So Stephon Diggs gets released. If you just said in a vacuum, next season, week 1, A.J. Brown is an Eagle or A.J. Brown is a Patriot, which team is A.J. Brown going to have a better statistical season? I would say the Patriots.
I don't disagree with that.
Right? Like Drake May throws the ball down the field. He can push the ball outside the numbers. He's a great deep ball thrower. Like A.J. Brown would probably get 150 targets in New England next year, and that's just not how Philly's offense operates.
Yeah.
But if I'm Howie Roseman, I'm looking around, I'm like, I need A.J. Brown and Saquon and Devontae. That's the only way this has ever worked at a high level.
He stabilizes your offense.
With my quarterback. Yeah. So I fully expect, and this isn't maybe the best take for the internet or take for the next 2 months of the offseason because projecting trades, but I think status quo is going to win here. I think A.J. Brown is going to be in Philadelphia next year. And then, by the way, there will be problems with A.J. Brown in Philadelphia next year.
What are the problems?
I'm just saying.
But my point is
things that you've said you wouldn't love to leave the locker room that leave the locker room when A.J. Brown's on your team.
But they're consistent.
They are consistent.
They're not all over the place. They're not patchy statements. What he's saying is, I'm open, right? Like I've said this time and time on the show. When you turn on the tape and it's him versus another guy, he's open, right?
He is correct.
And when there's a blitz coming and he's your big third down receiver, he's open. Jalen Hurts has struggled to get him the ball. And for whatever reason, and I think a large part of Jalen's regression is because of the offensive line. They haven't been able to protect him. I think he starts to see ghosts and he looks unhinged in the pocket. I think that's part of the problem. But nevertheless, man, there's nothing wrong with A.J. Brown. I think his game hasn't regressed. He just hasn't been utilized to the best of his potential.
Well, and so that's the thing. He's such a good player that, let's just say conservatively, he's a top 10 receiver in football.
I don't think anybody's going to argue.
Right, let's just say. So he's a good fit literally everywhere.
Right.
I mean, take the worst team in the league. If you put him on Vegas, you're like, oh, well, that's a good fit because it would help Fernando Mendoza, you know what I mean, when he comes in. Take the Titans. Oh, that would help you realize what Cam Ward is. But I would say New England, Buffalo, Baltimore would all be just they all need true number ones. They all have great quarterbacks. They're all in a win now mode. Yep. They all have low first round picks that they can trade. Those would be the teams, if he does get dealt, that I would circle. But I think he's literally a good fit on every team in the NFL.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.